Greetings, people of planet Earth, and welcome to my very first informational kind of video. Normally, I do meditation style videos, music videos, nature videos, but for today, we are going to be diving deeper into 432 Hertz, 432 Hertz music and sounds, and what the phenomenon is really about. We're going to be getting into the facts and some theories on why it's better than the conventional 440 Hertz, which is now standard in modern music. What is 432 Hertz? 432 Hertz. Well, to start, we have to go into the term Hertz, which is the last name of German physicist Heinrich Rudolf Hertz. Simply put, Hertz means nothing more than times per second, and it is the measuring unit of vibration. The number of Hertz indicates how many times in 1 second the full cycle of a certain vibration occurs. 1 Hertz means once per second. 432 Hertz means 432 times per second. Now there is a standard pitch, or the reference pitch, for musical instruments. Currently, the international standard pitch proposed in 1939, 1955, and finally adopted internationally in 1978 is A440 Hertz, which means notes will vibrate at 440 times per second. All the other notes on that scale will be tuned accordingly. And now we have tonal systems. A tonal system is a framework made of a series of tones arranged in specific ratios. Basically, in order to make music, we arrange the notes on this scale in a way to create specific intervals, which is a combination of 2 notes, from which we proceed to create chords. So, where does 432 Hertz come into this? And where did this whole idea originate from? Well, on April 9th, 1988, in Milan, Italy, the Schiller Institute held a conference on the topic, a pivotal one in the world of opera singers. The key point presented at the conference was the traditional bel canto technique passed on through centuries from the Italian masters of opera believed a specific shift in the registers of the voices of the tenors and sopranos naturally occurs when instruments are tuned to A432 Hertz. The Schiller Institute maintains that operas of the great composers of the past were composed on a lower pitch. The changes in registers of the voice were used to accentuate the meaning of the lyrics, and therefore these shifts have to occur on the right notes. The bel canto has evolved, been perfected, and passed on for centuries by the Italian masters of the voice, and it is the result of a close observation of the natural voice and its dynamics. After all, the human voice is the basis of human music. Musical instruments came later, and their technical issues and specifications should not be allowed to have priority over the natural needs of the singing voice. A famous letter written in 1884 by the great Italian maestro Giuseppe Verdi to the Italian government is often quoted in support of this movement to 432 Hertz. In this letter, Verdi expressed his concern for raising and fluctuation of the pitch, which at the time had not yet been standardized. He asked for and obtained a regulation of the pitch at 432 Hertz. The name Verdi has recently been taken up as a sort of banner for demanding a new standard pitch of 432 Hertz on the basis of his letter mentioned previously. and the resulting decree by the Italian War Ministry, which in 1884 institutionalized the A at 432 Hz throughout Italy. Unfortunately, this did not last very long. The following year, in a conference held in Vienna and mainly run by the British government, this standard was refused, and as a consequence, it was abandoned also in Italy. Essentially, in the late 1800s, Italian opera singers realized that 432 Hz was easier to listen to and that instruments were more naturally tuned to the A432 Hz frequency. But since this was not the standard at the time, it was deemed unnecessary and a hindrance or an annoyance to the current musical standards at the time. The Music Commission of the Italian government declared that all instruments and orchestras should use a tuning fork that vibrated at 440 Hz frequency. In 1917, the American Federation of Musicians endorsed the Italians, which further pushed for 440 Hz in the 1940s. In 1953, a worldwide agreement was signed. This agreement declared that the middle A on the piano be tuned exactly to 440 Hz. This tone is now universally accepted, which is why a piano in Moscow sounds exactly the same as a piano in Miami. Now that we have a basic understanding of what Hertz is, what 440 Hertz is, and what 432 Hertz was supposed to be, we can now get into the more theoretical and spiritual side to what makes 432 Hertz such a phenomenon, and why I personally believe that within the next decade, there will be a major movement to try to change the 440 Hz frequency, which has been standardized throughout mainstream music, to 432 Hz, which has been said to be the natural frequency of all sounds. All of this information will be linked down in the description and also referenced in the video so you can look into the evidence yourself. I believe that everyone should be able to take in information with a filter and do your own research. Don't just take my word for it. Believers of this theory are supporters of 432 Hz because it has a pure tone of math fundamental to nature, and it is mathematically consistent with the patterns of the universe vibrating with the phi, the golden ratio. They point to how this pitch can be connected to everything from shells to the work of the ancients, including the construction of the Great Pyramid. Furthermore, 432 Hz resonates with 8 Hz, the Schumann resonance, the documented fundamental electromagnetic beat of Earth. They believe it just feels better, and I can attest to this. I've listened to many mainstream songs, and when you switch the default 440 Hz that you listen to the song in to 432 Hz, you can hear more things in the background that get filtered out, and it honestly just feels better when you listen to it. Everything that you hear is less harsh, everything is softer, smoother. The snares don't quite snap as hard. Even the louder instruments like guitars, it feels better on the ear. It's easier on your hearing. There is even research that says that music from this frequency is easier to listen to, brighter, clearer, and contains more inherent dynamic range. As a result, music with this tuning does not need to be played at higher volumes, and thus reduces the risk of hearing damage. There is another frequency that people say tunes more into the love vibration, which is 528 Hz, And this is said because it's a digital bioholographic precipitation, crystallization, and miraculous manifestation of diving frequency vibrations. That is a quote. I did not think of that myself. Now, this is where the whole conspiracy stuff comes from. And I don't know if I 100% believe in these conspiracies, but you should do your own research into it, because there is a deep rabbit hole that it goes down if you are wanting to get into it. But believers of this theory allege there is something sinister and evil about this implementation of 440 Hz as the standard for modern mainstream music. They say that the Rockefeller Foundation had interest in making sure the United States adopted 440 Hz in 1935 as a part of, quote, a war on consciousness, leading to musical cult control. Essentially, the theory states that tuning all music to 440 Hz turns it into a pseudo military weapon. Like I said, I don't know if I believe in that part, but there are a lot of people that believe in this part of the theory. Me personally, I believe that 432 Hz is just easier to listen to, and it's just better, honestly. But going a little deeper with this conspiracy, they believe the more sinister part, the more sinister origin of this conspiracy, it was eventually picked up by the Nazis and by propaganda minister Joseph Goebbels, I probably mispronounced that, who insisted that 440 Hz should be standardized in Germany because he believed it made people think and feel in specific ways, making them, quote, a prisoner of a certain consciousness. It is also believed that these frequencies that we are listening to activate different chakras within the body. 432 Hz actually increases the spiritual development of the listener, and it may even have healing properties. And that's the thing about these theories. Unless there is substantial research done that goes into the medical benefits of these frequencies, we're never going to know the actual scientific results of prolonged listening to these frequencies. Everything stated in the first half of the video is factual information that you can look up yourself. But now that we're on the theoretical part, it's open to interpretation. If it helps you, if it doesn't help you, that's all up to you. That is the whole point of this video. I'm just bringing factual evidence and then weaving in theoretical ideas that make this such a phenomenon and controversial issue. But anyways, that is the video. I would like to thank everyone that is watching and listening. This is the first kind of informational style video that I have done. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you found anything in this video useful or informative or transformative, whatever, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to follow me on this spiritual journey. It's only gonna get better from here, folks. It's only gonna get better from here. Comment if you want to ask a question or give any advice or anything else. Again, thank you everyone that tuned in. Peace, love, enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your year. Namaste.